Hey everyone, welcome to Breakout Wednesday for the 17th of May 2023. It's currently 1:30 p.m. on the West Coast, 3:30 p.m. on the East Coast. First of all, remember, this is never financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is simply a video blog on how one trader sees the market, and everyone needs to take responsibility for their own decisions. Okay, the market hasn't really done much over the last 2 weeks, turning sideways, kind of going nowhere. So let's just look at some setups from 2 weeks ago. First of all, there was a big base forming in ALL, in Aristocrat, which has broken out. Okay, it's a lovely big base with a tight little handle here and it's broken out. So I'm in that, we'll see what happens. Had a loser in ADT, okay, a long kind of failed out breakout, and then I had a smaller position with a wider stopped out on that, okay, a loser on that. And I added, okay, the main thing I was talking about like 2 weeks ago was adding to this Google position on a break here. So I added to that and it started really well, all right. Chatting about Google a bunch and how, maybe a month ago I chatted about how, I think they're going to fight back in the AI. I thought they were going to fight back in the AI war. They're kind of doing that with Bard, and I think they're going to keep doing it. They're too big to not do it. And I just think that, when I get technical setups in the best businesses in the world, I need to take them, okay? Because the probability, this isn't to me all about kind of trying to triple my money in tiny spec stocks. I think trading is also about probability, and if you have an amazing technical setup like this was in a company that we all know prints money and just dominates its space, then the probability of success is just so much higher, okay? It's why my biggest position was Apple on a break here, right? Because obviously it dominates, okay? There's no better business in the world than Apple. Therefore, my chances of success when you sync the amazing fundamentals with an amazing technical setup is crazy good. Compare that to ADT. I don't even know what the hell ADT does. I mean, I know that they're in mining, but this was not a fundamental sync trade with technicals, okay? It was just a Darvis setup that I blindly took pretty much, right? I fail a lot more in those than I do in the carefully thought out ones where I'm combining technicals and fundamentals, okay? Enough on that. The only other one, there were so many that actually didn't break out over the last 2 weeks that just failed, like ARB and blah, 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 right? There were a few others I've been talking about lately. NU went batshit crazy. I'm still in the whole lot, haven't trimmed it. And the other one I've been talking about a bit lately, Onan, kind of grinded higher for ages and then had a down 9% last night. So interesting times, hey, pretty volatile shit, but it's good fun. So now some new setups, right? Let's just do it. So I'm still looking at this huge base on KMD on the ASX. Okay, I do know a bit about the fundamentals on this. It's decent, and I'm really just looking at this sideways grinding base with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chances of trying to get above that. Here's a weekly chart. Okay, it's really tightening on, I'm not going to put the moving averages on, but really tightening on weekly data. So we've got a huge stage one base in combination with a stock with decent fundamentals, and a profitable company and all that sort of stuff, right? So KMD I'm still watching. ARB, look, ARB is just coming up in Darvis scans out of the yin yang and stuff. So I just, it's obviously faking out and stuffing around down here. This might not break out for a long time, but I just think that this is such a clean setup. It's such a clean base on weekly data. And I just think I'm going to keep my eye on this. If this can just churn, it might churn away for months and months yet, but then one day if it can just get through all this supply and then break up above these highs, it'll be something very noteworthy that I'll jump in. Okay, so I'm watching ARB. I'm still watching some of these gold stocks. I know they've had huge runs, but it'd just be interesting. I think NST is probably the one I'm watching the most. It's just starting to tighten up here. It needs longer and it needs another week or 10 days of tightening, but I'm just watching this. I don't know whether I would end up trading it as a sideways thing or whatnot, but that's on the watch list to just see if it can continue tightening up with incredibly low volume, like kind of had the last 3 days. If it can just stay super low volume and churn sideways another 10 days, it could be good. And kind of on the specky end of town, which I would be taking a smaller position if I did, is ASN. All right, so it just came up in a tri-point resistance scan, and this needs a really tight right-hand side. It's totally not ready. If this, woke up and just went crazy over the next few days, I'm not going to be in it. But I really just want this to tighten up and give me at least another 2 weeks. But it certainly has that just bottom-in base look to it, and just churning sideways for ages now with kind of 3 points of significant resistance. So I'm going to watch that to see if I can get a super nice tight right-hand side. And then another one I'm watching, just not so much on the specky end of stuff. I mean, AIA has a great business, is Auckland International Airport. It's just forming a little VCP up here with some clear resistance. It's a pretty short-term pattern. I don't know if I'll take it, but it definitely is something I'm watching. It's obviously in a very kind of well-formed uptrend, and so I'm watching AIA. So, this is not the sort of market right now where I really want to be, pushing trades, okay? We've just got this sideways shit, and if I can find amazing bases setting up, I will take them, because I love, some of the breakouts when the market's kind of coming out of a shit period can be incredibly good, but there aren't that many amazing setups right this second, okay? I've done a bunch of scans over the last few days, and a bit of a lack of opportunity. One I am kind of eyeballing, and this isn't a brilliant technical setup, and it's pretty illiquid. It's kind of a little bit like the SLA setup, right? Let's just clean this up. So I had SLA that I talked about a bunch, just grinded down for forever, put in this bottom end pattern, broke out of it, and then I kind of try to combine that with fundamentals, right? Now, I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I may do soon, is a similar thing I think might be unfolding in VAA. I think, when I say I think, I don't know, I think there's a decent probability of a similar occurrence slowly grinding away in VVA, okay? In the sense that we have a really kind of sound business that's growing with substantial cash flow, and growth opportunities in a fragmented market. You can do your own research on it. This is up in late 2020, right? After COVID, when it was up here at $3.60. If you compare the business now compared to it was in 2 years ago, it's a much better, robust company with better financials, right? And then we have this substantial just bad sentiment and massive downtrend where it just people are getting punished from 360 to $1, okay? And then we have this massive base that slowly kind of broke out, but probably wasn't quite ready for it, right? All the moving average is still down, then it breaks out, kind of fakes out, churns away, goes nowhere, and then finally we get these moving averages coming together, showing the signs of kind of a decent bottom in, and maybe this is ready to either go up or go sideways for a long time and then go up, okay? But I'm trying to, with VVA, a bit like SLA, combine the fundamentals and the technicals. I would be with SLA, my plan was to be incredibly patient. I'm talking like a year or 2 or 3. I didn't have to wait that long, but with VVA, the plan would be very similar. If I do jump in this, it's going to be very patient with a wider stop down here, willing to kind of lose a big chunk of it. But if I'm right on this and it's classed as a bit of a turnaround, then I think this maybe has potential for a fling back up to these levels, which would be obviously doubling my investment on that if it's right. So happy to kind of lose 30%, 35% of that position if I can at least double or more, better than double, if I'm right on that. So I'm still unfolding my opinion on VVA. On the US side, look, I'm loaded on the US side at the moment. Google and Apple are my 2 biggest positions. I've got positions on all the other stocks I've talked about recently. I'm still in all of them, okay? I don't need any more bloody American trades right now, otherwise I'm not going to be able to sleep. So I'm just sitting back and watching Google unfold, and Apple unfold, and NU, and Onan, and GFS, and TTD, and all that shit, all right? That's it for now. Short and sweet, and that's all. Take care. Bye.